Have you ever felt like someone tried to break your spirit, crush your confidence, and silence your voice? Like they smiled in your face but secretly hoped you'd fall? That's what it feels like when a narcissist targets you. But here's something powerful you need to know. They didn't come after you because you were weak. They came because you're chosen. Yes, you, chosen by God. And not just for anything small. God said his chosen ones are more powerful than angels. That's why the attacks were so strong. That's why the pain felt so deep. Because the enemy saw your light before you even realized you had it. But guess what? You survived. You're still here. And that means something. It means God's not done with you yet. In fact, he's just getting started. So if you've ever felt alone, misunderstood, or like you don't belong, this message is for you. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear might just change everything. And hey, we're building a community of strong souls, of chosen ones like you, who've walked through fire and came out glowing. So show some love, leave a comment, and join the family. We're not just here to talk, we're here to heal, rise, and take our power back together. Let's go deep into why narcissists are so drawn to you, how God is lifting you higher, and why your story is far from over. Stay right here. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Narcissists often walk into people's lives thinking they are the smartest in the room. They wear masks, speak sweet words, and act like they care. But deep inside, they only care about one thing: control. They want to be the center of attention. They want power over others. When a narcissist meets someone who is kind, humble, and quiet, they think, this one is weak. This one is easy to control. And that's where they make their biggest mistake, because being gentle doesn't mean being powerless. Being patient doesn't mean being blind. Just because someone doesn't fight back loudly doesn't mean they don't see what's happening. Narcissists think they're playing a clever game, but in reality they're walking straight into a trap, one they set for themselves. The chosen ones may stay silent for a while, they may try to forgive, they may try to understand, but when the time comes, they rise with a power the narcissist never saw coming. Here's the hook: they weren't messing with just anyone, they were playing with divine fire. You see, chosen ones are not ordinary people. They carry a light, a calling, a spiritual strength given by God. That strength might be hidden at first, but it's always there. The narcissist thinks they've won when they lie, hurt, or manipulate. But slowly, the truth comes out. The chosen one begins to see, to wake up, and to fight back, not with hate, but with truth, peace, and purpose. And this is what shocks the narcissist. They thought you were easy to break. But they didn't realize you were protected. They didn't realize heaven was watching. When a chosen one stands back up, they don't just survive, they shine brighter. And the narcissist? They are left confused, powerless, and exposed. That's the delusion they live in, thinking they could dim a light that God himself lit. Some people go through life feeling like they don't quite fit in. They may be quiet, different, or deeply thoughtful. Others may not notice them much or even look down on them. But what they don't see is what's hidden deep inside, a powerful light that hasn't fully awakened yet. This is the life of a chosen one. They don't ask for attention, they don't chase fame or power. In fact, many of them live in the shadows, unnoticed, misunderstood, or even rejected. But what the world doesn't know is this: they didn't choose this path. God chose them before they were even born. Chosen ones are born with a purpose. But that purpose doesn't shine right away. It's hidden, covered, like a seed under the soil. From the outside, it looks like nothing special, but deep beneath, something holy is growing. Trials, pain, and rejection are not just struggles, they are the fire that activates the gift. When a chosen one goes through heartbreak, betrayal, or loss, something begins to shift. They start to see clearer, they start to feel stronger, they realize they were never ordinary to begin with. Here's the powerful part: God doesn't reveal his chosen ones in easy times, he reveals them in storms. When everything seems dark, that's when their light starts to rise. They are tested so they can be trusted. They are broken so they can become unshakable. And when their identity is finally revealed, people are shocked. The same person they once ignored, laughed at, or doubted becomes the one with wisdom, strength, and spiritual power. This is the hidden identity of the chosen one. They walk through pain that others couldn't survive. They carry peace in places full of chaos. They don't need to prove who they are, because in time, their truth reveals itself. And when it does, even the darkness has to step back. There are moments in life that feel so heavy, so painful, that it's hard to breathe. Moments when people you trusted turned their backs on you, when your kindness was taken for granted, when your heart broke into pieces you didn't think could ever be put back together. For a long time, it may have felt like a curse, like you were being punished for something you didn't even understand. But here's the truth that changes everything. Your pain was never punishment. It was preparation for power. God doesn't waste pain. Every tear you cried, every silent night you suffered, every betrayal you survived, it all had purpose. And here's something that might surprise you. The narcissist who hurt you, used you, and tried to break you was actually a tool used by God, not to destroy you, but to wake you up to who you really are. Chosen ones often sleep on their true power until life shakes them to their core. And narcissists? They are like fire, dangerous, but able to burn away what doesn't belong. The games they played, the lies they told, the way they tried to make you question your worth, it all pushed you closer to the truth. It forced you to look within. It forced you to stop depending on others for love and start depending on the God who never left your side. The suffering cracked you open, but not to destroy you. It cracked you open so the light within you could finally shine. Think about it. If they hadn't hurt you, you might have never discovered your voice. If they hadn't walked away, you might have never learned to stand tall on your own. What looked like the end was actually the beginning. What felt like a breakdown was really your breakthrough. And now you carry something stronger than before. Not just survival, but wisdom, courage, and a deep connection to God. You didn't just go through pain, you grew through it. And that pain was never random, it was part of the plan. From the moment you were formed, there was something special placed within you, something heaven itself recognized. You may not have seen it at first. Life may have pushed you down, made you question your worth or feel forgotten. But there's a truth written in the very word of God that reveals just how powerful you truly are. Psalm 8:5 says, "You made them a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor." Think about that for a moment. That verse isn't talking about angels. It's talking about you. Angels are mighty, yes. They serve in the presence of God, carry his messages, and guard the realms of the Spirit. But even they were never crowned the way you were. Angels were created to serve. You were created to rule. You were made with the breath of God inside of you. You were given free will, divine purpose, and the ability to carry the Spirit of God himself. That's not just power, it's spiritual royalty. Chosen ones walk with a weight they can't always explain. That's because they carry assignments that angels weren't given. You were chosen to bring light into dark places, to speak truth when lies surround you, to love when hate tries to poison the world. The battles you face aren't random, they match your rank. You are not fighting like a servant, you are moving like a crowned child of the Most High. And here's the incredible thing, angels are assigned to help you fulfill your purpose. You don't answer to them. They are sent to minister to you. That's how high your calling is. That's how serious your mission is. While the world may overlook you, the heavens know your name. You weren't created to bow to fear or live in confusion. You were made to rise with glory, walk in truth, and lead with light. Never forget it. Your spiritual rank was written before time began. There's a reason why narcissists seem to find you like moths drawn to a flame. And it's not because you're weak, it's because you shine with a light they can't create for themselves. Your peace, your kindness, your quiet strength, it burns them on the inside even if they smile on the outside. Narcissists don't just see people, they sense energy, they sense presence. And when a chosen one walks into the room, even without saying a word, the entire atmosphere shifts because you don't walk alone. You carry something divine, something spiritual, something set apart, and it unsettles them deeply. You carry truth while they are wrapped in lies. You carry peace while their souls are in constant storm. You carry love while they live off of manipulation and fear. Your light irritates their demons. Your peace disrupts their chaos. They don't always understand it in words, but their spirit reacts instantly. They feel exposed around you because the energy you carry reminds them of everything they're not. Your presence is like a mirror, showing them what they lack: humility, grace, and connection to God. So instead of learning from that light, they try to control it. They try to dim it. They play games, use guilt, and twist your words to pull you into their world. They feed off your energy, trying to drain your spirit, because deep down, they know they can't survive without stealing light from others. You become their supply, not just emotionally, but spiritually. They pretend to admire you, but it's really hunger. They don't love you, they want to consume you. And what makes it worse is that as a chosen one, you feel deeply. You want to help. You want to heal. You think maybe if you love harder, they'll change. But they won't change because they don't want healing. They want control. And here's where the shift happens. When you wake up and realize your light was never meant to be sacrificed to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Your spirit is rare, your calling is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to your energy. Narcissists are drawn to you because you carry what they can't fake: divine truth, divine favor, and divine peace. They sense your spiritual rank even before you fully know it yourself. That's why you've been targeted, misunderstood, and tested again and again. But each attack only sharpens your discernment. Each betrayal only strengthens your spirit. Each lie they speak only confirms the power of your truth. You were never meant to stay in their trap. You were meant to recognize it, break free, and rise higher. Your light is not a weakness, it's a weapon. Your peace is not something to be stolen, it's something to be protected. And your spirit, it belongs to God, not to those who try to use it for their own empty gain. Narcissists don't come at you with obvious weapons. They don't need to. They use something far more dangerous: mind control. They don't fight with fists. They fight with illusions. They study you, mirror you, flatter you, make you feel like you've found someone who finally understands you, and then, slowly, they twist the truth, plant doubt, and start to control how you see yourself. It's never loud, it's quiet, sneaky, and disguised as care. They confuse you with mixed signals. They make you question your memory, your feelings, even your sanity. They make you feel guilty for things you didn't do and ashamed for speaking your truth. They charm you so well that even when you see red flags, you doubt yourself instead of them. This is their weapon: control through confusion, domination through charm. They don't need chains when they can wrap your mind in fog. But here's the part they never expect. Your soul can't be stolen, because no matter how deep their tricks go, the chosen one carries a built-in alarm: intuition. It may go quiet for a while when you're overwhelmed, but it never dies. Your spirit starts picking up things your mind hasn't caught yet. Your body feels the drain. Your peace feels shaken. Your dreams feel strange. That's your divine radar activating, trying to wake you up from their illusion. Because no matter how much control they think they have, they can't erase what God put inside you. Their charm may cloud your thoughts for a while, but your calling can't be cancelled. Your destiny has spiritual protection that even their darkest manipulation can't reach. In time, you begin to see through the mask. You feel the lies in your bones. You remember who you are and you start to rise. And when you do, it confuses them. They thought they had you, but they never had your soul. They never had your purpose. They never had your divine truth. Narcissists are skilled at building mental prisons, but chosen ones were never built to live in cages. Your intuition is the key that unlocks every lie. Your spirit is the sword that slices through their illusions, and once you've seen the truth, you'll never bow to their control again. Sometimes life feels like a battlefield where everything seems to be against you. The attacks, the betrayals, the pain, they all hit hard and leave scars that feel impossible to heal. But here's a powerful truth that changes everything. What was meant to destroy you was actually allowed by God to activate your highest purpose. It's not easy to believe when you're in the middle of the storm, but every hardship, every attack, every challenge has a divine reason behind it. God doesn't let things happen by accident or without purpose. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, He is working behind the scenes, preparing you for something greater. The narcissists, the lies, the struggles, they are not the end of your story. They are the furnace that God uses to purify you, to burn away what doesn't belong, and to awaken the strength and power inside you. Instead of breaking you, these attacks awaken a deeper part of your soul. They make you realize that your life is not about avoiding pain, but about rising above it. Every time you survive an attack, you step closer to your true calling, your divine assignment that only you can fulfill. This is the moment where you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start embracing your role as a victor. You realize that the enemy's plan to harm you was actually the trigger for your ascension. The trials have sharpened your spirit, opened your eyes, and strengthened your faith. What was designed to bring you down becomes the very fuel that lifts you higher than ever before. God's timing is perfect. He uses every experience, good and bad, to prepare you to step into the destiny He created just for you. The pain you went through, the attacks you survived, and the battles you fought were never meaningless. They were all part of God's plan to make you powerful, wise, and ready to shine in ways you never imagined. So hold on to this truth. Your struggles are not signs of failure, but signs of a divine process unfolding within you. You are being shaped, elevated, and prepared to walk in a power that surpasses all understanding. Your ascension is coming, and it is unstoppable because it is God ordained. You may not always see it, but you are never alone. When the world feels heavy and the burdens press down on your shoulders, there is a powerful truth working behind the scenes. You have divine backing. You walk a path that is guarded by unseen forces, protected by a heavenly army that moves in ways you cannot always understand. Your cries, your prayers, your silent tears, they do not go unnoticed. Heaven listens and responds with a strength that lifts you higher when you feel like falling. This divine support isn't just a comforting idea, it is real and active. Angels surround you, not just as stories or symbols, but as living protectors sent to guide your steps and shield your spirit. When challenges come, and they will, they meet you with power beyond what any human can give. You carry a connection to God so deep that even in moments of doubt, you are never truly without help. Your struggles become battles fought with heavenly warriors by your side. The chosen ones are called to stand firm because their support system is unlike any other. You are not just fighting your battles alone or relying solely on your own strength. Every tear you shed reaches heaven and stirs a response. Every prayer whispered in the dark echoes in the spirit realm, where powerful forces move to your defense. This is why your journey, though hard, is never hopeless. Because of this divine backing, your life carries a weight of purpose and protection that even the fiercest opposition cannot break. When you feel weak, it's a sign that something greater is carrying you. When the path seems impossible, it's because unseen hands are preparing a way forward. The peace you seek, the victory you long for, they are already in motion beyond the veil. Remember, your spiritual rank means you are chosen for more than just earthly struggles. You are part of a divine plan with a support system that outshines any darkness. Heaven watches over you and moves in your favor, ready to respond the moment you call. This is your truth. You have divine backing, and nothing can stand against you when heaven fights for your cause. Betrayal cuts deep. It feels like the ground disappears beneath your feet, and your heart shatters into pieces you never thought you could pick up again. But what if this pain, though crushing, is not the end of your story? What if it's actually the beginning of a new chapter where your true power is unlocked? When someone betrays you, it feels like a personal attack meant to break you, but in reality, it's a divine moment designed to break your limits. The heartbreak is not just damage, it's a key. This key opens doors to hidden dimensions of your spiritual strength that you didn't even know existed. Betrayal forces you to look deeper within yourself. It challenges your trust, your faith, and your sense of safety. But it also awakens something greater: resilience, wisdom, and a connection to a power beyond this world. When your heart breaks, your spirit stretches. You begin to see things from a higher perspective, one that includes understanding, forgiveness, and growth. This pain becomes the teacher that shows you how strong you really are. Your limits, those invisible walls that held you back, start to crumble because betrayal pushes you past fear and doubt. It forces you to tap into a power that can't be shaken by other people's actions. This power is quiet but fierce, a spiritual fire burning inside that grows hotter with every challenge. Through betrayal, you learn to protect your heart without closing it. You learn to stand tall even when you feel small. You learn to love yourself enough to never settle for less than you deserve. This transformation isn't easy, it's messy and painful, but it's also necessary. It's through the cracks in your broken heart that the light of your true self shines the brightest. Betrayal unlocks spiritual gifts like deep empathy, courage, and a fierce determination to rise above. It opens the door to a new level of faith that says, I will not be defined by what others did to me, but by how I rise after. So when you think about betrayal, remember this: yes, it hurt, but it also healed and strengthened you. It was the key you never asked for, but desperately needed. A key to unlocking the full power of your spirit, breaking limits, and stepping into the greatness that was always waiting inside you. Your very presence shines a light that others can't hide from, especially narcissists. You don't just walk into a room, you hold up a mirror to the darkness they try to cover up. This mirror doesn't lie or bend the truth. It shows things exactly as they are. It reveals their true selves, the hidden fears, the selfishness, the insecurities they work so hard to hide behind masks of charm and control. And that scares them deeply because they rely on keeping their darkness invisible. When you show up with your authenticity and strength, you become a living truth they can't escape. This is why narcissists often react with anger, confusion, or desperate attempts to manipulate. They see themselves clearly in your reflection, and it terrifies them. Being a chosen one means you carry a powerful kind of honesty in your spirit. You don't pretend to be someone you're not, and you don't let lies slide by unnoticed. Your light exposes falsehoods and forces truth to surface, even if it's uncomfortable. For narcissists who live in a world of illusions and control, this exposure threatens everything they've built. It challenges their control and strips away their power because they can't survive when seen for who they really are. This mirror effect is not just about confrontation, it's about healing and transformation. By reflecting their darkness, you give narcissists a chance to face their own shadows and maybe change, but often they run from this reflection or lash out because the truth hurts. They hate feeling vulnerable, and your presence makes them feel exposed in a way they never expected. Even when they try to push you away or dim your light, your truth remains. Your authenticity is a gift that breaks through the lies and forces real change to happen, not just for them, but for you too. Being a mirror to their darkness is tough, but it's part of your spiritual power. It means you are fearless in showing who you really are. And in doing so, you invite others to step into their own truth as well. That power terrifies narcissists, but it also sets you free. God's declaration over you is more than just words. It is a powerful promise that stands firm across time and challenges. When God says, "Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm," Psalm 105 verse 15, he is speaking directly about divine protection that cannot be broken or bargained away. This declaration is a shield that surrounds the chosen ones, a sacred boundary that no enemy, whether visible or invisible, can cross without consequences. It is a reminder that you are not alone, not weak, and not vulnerable in the way the world might want you to believe. You carry a spiritual armor forged by God Himself, and this protection is non-negotiable. The phrase "my anointed" refers to those whom God has specially chosen for a purpose, a mission, or a calling. Being anointed means you are set apart, marked by God for greatness, and covered by His authority. This is not a title given lightly. It is a spiritual rank that comes with immense power and responsibility. When God declares you His anointed, He is essentially saying, "You belong to me, and I will fiercely defend you against anyone who tries to harm you." This divine protection is not passive, it is active and aggressive. It moves before you, around you, and behind you, fighting battles you may not even see. This protection is especially important because the path of the chosen one is never easy. You will face opposition, envy, betrayal, and spiritual attacks designed to break your spirit and derail your purpose. But God's promise stands above all these challenges. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and no attack can truly touch the core of who you are when God Himself is your defender. This is why even in moments of doubt or fear, there is a quiet strength within you, a knowledge deep in your soul that you are guarded by the Most High. The idea of "touch not my anointed" also means that those who come against you are essentially going against God's plan. They are not just fighting a person, they are challenging the will and authority of God Himself. This is a spiritual fact that changes the entire dynamic of any conflict. When you understand this truth, you begin to see every struggle not as a random hardship, but as part of a divine battle where victory is already assured. Your role is to remain faithful, strong, and unwavering because you are backed by a power that no human or dark force can overcome. Furthermore, this divine protection brings with it peace that surpasses understanding. Knowing that God is your defender allows you to walk confidently even in the face of danger. You don't have to live in fear of what others might do to you because God's promise covers you completely. This peace is a shield for your heart and mind, guarding you from anxiety, worry, and despair. It reminds you daily that your life is not in the hands of those who oppose you, but in the hands of a loving, all-powerful God who will never let you fall. God's declaration also calls for respect and reverence from others. When He says, "Do my prophets no harm," He sets a clear boundary for how those around you should treat you. You deserve honor because you carry a divine assignment. This means people's opinions, attacks, or judgments cannot define you. Only God's view matters. You are His chosen vessel, and no harm intended for you can succeed without His permission. This doesn't mean you won't face trials, but it means those trials have limits. They cannot cross the boundary God has set. In summary, God's declaration over you is a life-changing truth that gives you strength, peace, and confidence. It is a spiritual armor that protects your identity, calling, and future. No matter what comes your way, remember that you are covered by an unbreakable promise. "Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm." This promise is your fortress, your refuge, and your victory. It assures you that you are guarded by God's unfailing love and power, and with that, you are unstoppable. You're not just someone walking through life, you are a powerful spiritual threat to the enemy's kingdom. When you awaken to who you truly are, when you step into your purpose as a chosen one, you become a force that shakes the foundations of darkness. This awakening isn't quiet or subtle. It's a loud declaration that war has begun in the spiritual realm. Your very existence challenges evil forces and disrupts their control. To the enemy, your awakening is like an alarm bell ringing, signaling that their time is running out and their kingdom is under attack. Being a chosen one means you are a spiritual warrior, equipped with weapons far beyond what the world can see. You carry light where there is darkness, truth where there is deception, and peace where there is chaos. This spiritual power is a threat because it exposes lies, breaks curses, and tears down strongholds built by evil. Your awakening activates a force that cannot be ignored or defeated by ordinary means. It is a battle that happens both within and around you as you confront not only external challenges, but also the hidden spiritual battles that test your faith and resolve. The enemy fears your awakening because it means loss of control. The forces of darkness thrive on keeping people blind, confused, and divided. But when you rise up as a chosen one, you bring clarity, unity, and purpose. You disrupt the enemy's plans by living in truth and walking boldly in your God-given authority. Your prayers, your actions, and even your very presence are weapons that weaken the enemy's grip and reclaim territory that was lost. This spiritual war is not fought with swords or guns, but with faith, prayer, and the power of God working through you. You become a warrior who stands firm against lies, temptation, and fear. Your spirit is trained through trials and strengthened by divine power. Every victory you claim is a blow to the enemy's kingdom and a step closer to the ultimate triumph of light over darkness. Your awakening is a declaration that you will no longer be silent or passive. You are called to stand up, fight back, and claim the victory that has already been promised to you. The enemy may try to intimidate, confuse, or weaken you, but they cannot stop the power of God working in and through you. Your spiritual strength is a threat they cannot ignore, and your awakening signals that the battle is on, and you are ready to win. Remember, being a chosen one means you are not just surviving, you are conquering. Your spiritual awakening is the beginning of a war that will bring freedom, healing, and restoration. You are a powerful warrior called to fight for what is right, and your victory is already assured because God fights alongside you every step of the way. Your awakening is more than a moment. It is a movement, a revolution, and a spiritual threat to the enemy's kingdom. Narcissists targeted you not by accident. They sensed something powerful within you long before you even fully understood it yourself. Deep down, on a subconscious level, they recognized the greatness that God placed inside you. This isn't just about surface-level jealousy or envy, it's a spiritual recognition. Narcissists may not understand your calling or your purpose, but their spirit can detect the light and power you carry. This recognition triggers their need to control, dominate, or break you because your rising threatens their false sense of power. You may have noticed how narcissists often try to manipulate or drain your energy in subtle and not so subtle ways. This isn't random behavior, it's a targeted attempt to stop your growth and keep you from stepping fully into your destiny. They are drawn to you because your calling shines like a beacon, a light they want to dim or steal. They feel threatened by your potential to change lives, to speak truth, and to walk boldly in the plan God has designed for you. Even if you were unaware of your purpose at first, these attacks were signs that you are meant for something greater. Narcissists instinctively sense that your path is not ordinary, and this triggers their fear and hostility. They know deep inside that your calling is a threat to their need for control and false superiority. This is why their tactics often involve manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional games designed to confuse you and keep you doubting yourself. But here's the powerful truth. Their recognition of your greatness is actually a confirmation of your divine purpose. If you were ordinary or powerless, they wouldn't waste their energy targeting you. Their obsession with trying to control or hurt you reveals that you are a force to be reckoned with. You carry a light so bright that even those who wish to keep you in darkness can't help but notice it. Understanding this can shift your perspective on the attacks and challenges you face. Instead of seeing narcissists as random enemies, you can see them as indicators that you are on the right path. Their efforts to bring you down are proof that you are rising and fulfilling your God-given destiny. Their fear of your calling is a sign that your purpose is powerful enough to disrupt their plans and change the course of lives around you. So remember, when narcissists target you, it's because they sense the greatness you carry. They fear the impact you will make when you fully awaken and walk boldly in your calling. Their attacks are not signs of your weakness, but markers of your strength and importance. You were chosen for a purpose that shakes kingdoms, and even your enemies know it, whether they admit it or not. Pressure creates diamonds, a truth that perfectly describes the journey of the chosen one. Just like how coal buried deep under the earth's weight transforms into a shining diamond through intense pressure and time, you have been shaped and refined by the challenges and trials that tried to crush you. What broke or defeated others only made you stronger, sharper, and more radiant. Your struggles were not in vain. They were the very fire that polished you into the powerful, unstoppable force you are today. This transformation is not just physical or emotional, it is deeply spiritual. The pressure you faced became the process that revealed your true strength and divine purpose. Many people crumble under pressure because they see it only as suffering or failure. But for you, pressure was a necessary step in your spiritual growth. Every painful experience, every betrayal, every moment of doubt was like the intense heat and weight applied to a rough stone. Instead of breaking you, it forced you to develop resilience, patience, and a deeper connection with God. You learned how to shine even in darkness because the pressure didn't just shape you, it crowned you with glory. This crown is not made of gold or jewels, but of spiritual strength, wisdom, and a fierce determination that only comes from overcoming hardship. The transformation from pressure to diamond also means your value has increased beyond what anyone can see at first glance. Diamonds are rare and precious because they have survived what most stones could not. In the same way, your endurance through spiritual battles and personal trials marks you as someone uniquely chosen and prepared for greatness. You now carry a brilliance and clarity that can't be faked or broken. This brilliance shines out to others, inspiring and guiding those who are still struggling through their own pressures. What makes this metaphor even more powerful is the idea that your crown wasn't given by the world, it was earned through fire. While others might give up or lose hope, you stayed the course, trusting that the pressure was part of a greater plan. This faith turned your pain into power and your trials into triumphs. You are a living example of how divine strength works through human weakness, showing that the hardest battles produce the most beautiful victories. So remember, what crushed others crowned you. The pressure was never meant to destroy you, but to create something rare and extraordinary, your true self. Just like a diamond, your value, strength, and brilliance are the results of the pressure you endured and conquered. Your story is a shining example of spiritual resilience and transformation, proving that no matter how heavy the weight, it can bring out the greatest beauty and power inside you. The warning to the narcissist is clear and powerful. Every tear they caused, every moment of pain and manipulation, every attempt to break the spirit of a chosen one has not been wasted. Instead of destroying or diminishing the one they targeted, their cruelty and deception became the very seeds that grew into something far greater, a harvest of strength, wisdom, and victory. What the narcissist meant for evil, God has powerfully turned to good. This reversal of power is not just a spiritual truth, but a reality that every narcissist who underestimates a chosen one will eventually face. Narcissists thrive on control, manipulation, and emotional abuse. They aim to confuse, isolate, and drain the life force of their victims, believing that by doing so they can maintain power and superiority. They don't realize that the damage they cause is not the end of the story. Every tear they forced to fall from the eyes of their target became like a seed planted in fertile soil. Painful, yes, but also full of potential. This pain was transformed by God's divine grace into lessons of resilience, courage, and an unshakable spirit. The tears shed by the chosen one are not signs of defeat, but of preparation. Each tear waters the soul, strengthening roots that grow deeper and stronger with time. The narcissist's intentions to destroy only planted the foundation for the chosen one's spiritual harvest, a harvest of wisdom born from suffering, of compassion grown from empathy, and of power forged in the fires of adversity. This is a sacred process where God takes what was meant for harm and transforms it into a source of blessing and purpose. The warning to narcissists is a reminder that their power is temporary and limited. They may succeed in causing pain for a time, but they cannot stop the divine plan. God's justice moves slowly but surely, and it never fails to restore and elevate those who are chosen. The very actions the narcissist uses to try to break the chosen one become the tools for God to raise them higher. This reversal is a profound spiritual truth. The enemy's attacks are often the means God uses to bring about greater victories. You will rise not just to heal, but to lead. This powerful prophetic word is not merely a promise, but a destiny carved into the very fabric of your soul. You were born for more than survival or recovery. You were born to become a leader of light, a beacon in the darkness for those lost and broken. The challenges, the pain, the betrayals you endured were never meant to stop you. Instead, they were part of a divine process, shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for a calling far greater than you ever imagined. Your rise is not just personal, it is a spiritual movement destined to inspire and transform the lives of many. Healing is an essential step on this journey, but it is not the final destination. When you heal, you become whole, but when you rise, you become powerful. Healing restores what was broken. Rising propels you beyond your past and into your purpose. Your scars are not marks of defeat, but badges of honor, proof that you have endured and overcome. These experiences gave you unique wisdom and empathy, tools that no one else can replicate. It is this wisdom that will guide you as you lead others out of their own darkness and into the light of hope. Leadership for the chosen one is unlike any ordinary leadership. It is a calling filled with divine authority and responsibility. You are called to lead not just by strength, but by compassion, not just by words, but by example. Your life, your story, and your resilience become a roadmap for others navigating their own struggles. You show that true power comes from a heart that has been tested and tempered by fire, but never lost its faith. This is the kind of leadership the world desperately needs. Leaders who are courageous enough to stand for truth, kind enough to uplift the weak, and wise enough to see beyond the surface to the divine potential in every soul. The process of rising is often difficult. It requires patience, faith, and an unshakable belief in your divine purpose. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the weight of your past feels too heavy to carry. But remember, your rise is supported by unseen forces. Heaven walks with you every step of the way, strengthening you when you feel weak and guiding you when the path seems unclear. You are never alone. The power that raised you from your lowest moments is the same power that will lift you into your role as a leader of light. As you rise, you will find that your influence grows naturally. People will be drawn to your authenticity, your courage, and the peace that radiates from your spirit. Your presence alone can calm storms, inspire hope, and awaken the courage in others to face their own battles. This is the fruit of your healing, the ability to bring light to dark places and to lead others toward their own transformation. Your journey has equipped you to be a spiritual warrior and a gentle shepherd.